I can't wait. I mean, that's what this time of the year, and normally it's spread over a couple of weeks, but fans like us just get the one weekend to have a look at all the players as they try and push their case for selection in round one. North Melbourne versus Hawthorn from Arden Street. Last week against St Kilda, but he's fit and right and ready to be involved today. And Walker, another man who could play either end of the ground, takes the mark 40 metres out. It's a good story to get to 100 games. Yeah. From Geelong to Brisbane and then to North Melbourne. He's given that plenty, and that is through. So great start for North. They needed to after they took a bit of a belting in the practice match last week. Dylan Moore, 10 games in all. Now he's a rookie, originally drafted at pick 67. Only got a look in late last year. Oh, almost a big grab. O'Brien, Segler, the two big fellas down there. O'Brien can certainly fly. We've seen that before. There's a free kick to the Hawks.
We've seen it a lot, Hutter. He just needs to start clunking some of those marks. He's possessed with a brilliant leap.
The Eagles were apparently set to draft him, but the Hawks got in ahead at pick 46. Played in the AFL Colts last year, and he's kicked a goal in Hawthorn colours. So there's a nice start for both teams. Brian, who flies from behind, can't take the mark. Valagi was there, another ex-Collingwood player, but the Hawks are able to win it, and Liam Shields can stroll into goal. Tackle spoil from O'Brien, and then Morrison. And Shields is the man that gives Hawthorn their second goal. McAvoy claims front position and wins the tap. Davis Udiak's been prominent so far, but Hanrahan who jags the kick forward. O'Brien thought about getting the handball off to Brockman, but instead he goes, well, almost for home. And Nash, who was a late inclusion, should be able to soccer a goal for the Hawks, which he has.
Pretty excited about being involved again.
Now dumped in the tackle. The umpire said it was all fair and square. And
50. Yeah, he just took a step. You could see what Howe was thinking. He wanted to go lateral to the left, and it was just one step, but that's the rule.
So Davies Uniacke lining up, kicked just 2 goals last year in 9 games, but 2 of his last 3 games of last year were his best. So the hopes are really high for this talented young kangaroo, and he puts it right through the middle.
Well, he can, but I think the bloke on the mark's happy to corral him on the boundary and say if you kick it from there, you're good enough.
Phillips, eyes darting, hoping to find someone. Downey initially, and then Howe. They've worked it back to Shields, and as luck would have it, Brockman's in the right spot. He's taken the mark directly in front. He averaged 5 tackles a game in the Colts last year in Perth. Opportunity to have 2 goals on the board before you know it. And the Hawks fans are going to warm to him very quickly. Tyler Brockman puts it through. Segler down to Moore. Good connection. Hawks building again. McAvoy up forward. Here's Zeeble trying to defend. Brockman fell down. Kaczynski stayed upright, and he puts through another goal. Figures now in the quarter for the number 1 for the Hawks. To half forward. And Lachlan Bramble earns himself a free kick against Lockie Young. Plays the waiting game. And then runs around with the angle given to him. High ball to full forward. And this man has really turned it on in the first quarter.
I said pencil him in for round 1.
Couldn't have hoped for a better start, Tyler Brockman. Pick 46, as we said. You don't expect pick 46 to be ready to go like this. After the siren for 3 goals in his first quarter. What a start for Tyler Brockman. Atley has plenty of that as well. Delicate little pass is all right. Finds Tyson. Runs his arc and blasts it as long as he can. Walker's in the frame again. He's got it. 7th and the best and fairest last year. As we mentioned now, a 100-game player. And he's learnt from his errors. Got the angle right. Freeze does the rest, and the 3rd goal is registered for the Kangaroos. The margin back to 20 points. Downey in pursuit. Stevenson chasing him. Connor Nash up to help off, and he pushes off and runs, and then runs into trouble.
Can't work out why he had a bounce. He hadn't even run his 15 metres.
Quickly got the handball off, but it all ends well with Larkey. His accuracy is one of the hallmarks of his game. 67% over the last 2 years. Number 2 in the AFL. And thankfully he puts it through to back that up. And the Kangaroos have got a couple. Kangaroos pressing again. Another wrestle. Which way is it going? North's way. And Taylor is able to be the beneficiary of all that. Low and straight. Scott goes to Goldstein. This will be interesting. A change of direction from the ruckman. Put it to the top of the square, but oh, it's not marked. Is that high on Turner?
Yep.
Or did he contribute to himself? He's got the free. Turner in this quarter for North Melbourne to take it back to 3 points. We've got a good look. Kicks it into the trees and kicked it truly. Good progression this time from Hawthorn. And they turn it into something more. High ball, Hanrahan, top of the square. And this time, Kosicki gets clear and takes the mark. Hawks have gone goalless this quarter up until now. And he judges that one very nicely indeed, Jacob Kosicki. Feeding it back to Hardwick. He measures off the pass. Now they can really run CJs. Look at him bound away through the wing and send Hawthorn deep to a one-on-one. Got himself clear. Ashley takes the mark. Jacob Kosicki, as we said, drafted as a key defender. But he might well have 3 goals in the first half as well to put his name forward to be in the forward 50.
When they go to kick for goal.
McDonald to Stevenson, trots one half back, gives it back to Downing. And then they get the handballs going. High kick from Moore, top of the square, it looked dangerous, and he's got it again. Tumbling in, Kosicki. 3 goals already. And now for number 4 to extend Hawthorn's lead back beyond 20 points. And that'll hang on. 4 goals for Jacob Kosicki. Bobbles it up along the wing. Larkey over the top. Zerha back to the middle. Fell well for Brockman, and he had well, there's a lot of room around that time to take the mark, but he's getting to all the right places.
Well, look, there's obviously a big difference between practice games and when you get into the real thing, but he's showing every indication that he belongs at this level, and he's got a career ahead of him.
From Murray, under 18s originally, from up Albury Way. He's kicked 5 goals in just over a half of footy. Finds Bailey Scott. And the switch is on. Atley had to readjust. It bounces. He knows that Howe's coming for him. Young is there with a bit of insurance. Got a cruel bounce. And O'Brien just able to find a target, and it's Connor Nash. He thinks he can do it anyway, Kingy.
Wow.
And he can. That is a very high wobbly kick, tough to mark. Sinavallagi made a pretty decent fist of it for the Roos, but he still sits in a dangerous position. Mackay got the full rounds. The hands were clever from Phillips. Hanrahan again shoots it deep. Still alive. Kosicki might kick his 6th goal. How good's he going? Hardwick tosses up the kick to halfback. Davies-Uniacke turned to face goal straight away to improve the number of options, and Thomas had a couple. And he chooses Dom Tyson.
A big kick for Dom here. He just needs to go back and put this through. They've got to get a little bit of reward for their effort, North Melbourne. Just get themselves back in the contest.
Played 3 early games for the Kangaroos a couple of years ago. Last year had injuries, didn't play a senior game. From 40 metres out, it's only just going to scrape in for a score, but it was straight. That's one good thing, and it's a goal. A diligent, hard-working player, and he's getting his opportunity, and it's good to see. Kick goes deep into the pocket from out of the shadows. Zeebel's kick still leaves it hanging a bit for the Kangaroos. Oh, and Thomas didn't have the awareness. No pressure from Moore, earns himself a shot for goal. Didn't get a look in until round 15 last year, but made the most of his chances. Finished with a 25 disposal game and got a Brownlow vote, Dylan Moore. Full out of the middle. Gets himself into the clear. And then off the kick a little, Marnie, Greaves, both who on the bench for the first half for their respective sides. Thomas now playing closer to goal. Quick kick forward from Tyson. Might get a lucky bounce, and it goes through. Take that. Just knows he's got to get rid of it straight away. Zerha was coming. But gave it today with some instructions as to go next to Warple. The hands get them to half forward, and then the boot of Shields tosses it up for O'Brien to take them out. Mitch Lewis, late withdrawal today, so he hasn't been able to put his claims forward. O'Brien. Is it going to hang on? It does. Good strike. Lovely long goal from Tim O'Brien. Here's for North as it's coming back. Howe into the middle. Big Johnny Segler. Greaves, who did some nice things when he came into the team late last year. Downey. One more kick, and it's Morrison who takes the mark.
He's kicked back after a clubbing.
Morrison has put it through. Help with Phillips. Left boot for Moore. Kazitsky's in the goal square. Makes his lead now, but the kick goes longer. It's aimed for this man. So the Hawks have already topped the 100. Their 16th goal. Segler splits the middle. Goldstein. He had Zerha long. He goes short instead. And Spicer gets a nice clean pickup and a handball.
He's a good one-on-one player, Josh Walker.
Yep. Takes another grab. And that's much better. Sails through for his third. Didn't really end up working too well for them.
I can tell you too that Clark is very aware that Kingy tipped him to finish bottom.
Yeah,
Tom Phillips, right? Got to go back and kick this. There's a reason you get let go when you can find plenty of the ball. And Collingwood, you know, they weren't upset when he left, and that's because they don't think the ball use is at the level it needs to be.
8 score involvements today, and that's a nice decisive kick right through the middle. Plays it wide for Bailey Scott. Sneaks around the big guy in Segler. He doesn't give up. He's not quite nimble enough. This way, that way.
He got him in the end.
Taylor, Scott keeps on going. Didn't have enough energy to have a shot. Going to be downfield. And a built edge opportunity for a North Melbourne goal. And Tom Campbell says, I'll have that. Thank you very much. Former Dog, good insurance for the Roos for Todd Goldstein. Just the one game last year to make it 3 at his second club. And he puts that through.
Kick a goal.
On the move, Simpkin out to Thomas. He's got a fair piece of that, and Frost couldn't stop it bouncing through for a goal.
Kangaroos for a long period of time.
The other thing they did, North Melbourne, you say they recruited for speed. They recruited midfield depth. That's what they went after. So you look at, you've got Will Phillips at pick number 3. You took Tom Powell at pick number 13, another midfielder.
There's Tyson for his third. So he'll take that. 26 now. McDonald, it's going to be a big win for the Hawks. A 40-point victory. There was a bit in it for both teams. But the Hawks showing that they might be a little more talented and capable than some thought as we head into the real stuff in a couple of weeks' time. The margin will be around the 40-point mark. Curtis Taylor is going to have the last shot for goal. So if he can finish off his day with a nice angled goal. He already has one.
Already started the theme song while he's having a shot for goal.
Just hit the button a little bit early. And he's kicked it behind.